everybody. Thank you for joining us today, Breaking Bread, the podcast. We are back with a special guest today. Our guest, Luis, has something special for us today, something fresh, something good for the beautiful day that we have in Southern California. Luis, what are we making today?
I'm making ceviche.
Ceviche.
All right. We're making some ceviche, and let everybody know a little bit about yourself. How old you are, where you come from, your background in making ceviche, and a little bit about the ingredients you're going to be working with today.
Hi, I'm Luis. I am from Southern California. I grew up in El Monte, and today I'm gonna be making ceviche with mango. Mango. So I'm gonna be using tomato, cucumber, red onion, cilantro, white onion, and a bit of avocado for a side taste.
Nice. I'm excited. Chef,
Yeah.
I see your mouth watering over there,
I'm seeing all these fresh ingredients, so I'm let's get it started, man. Let's get the show on the road.
All right. Today we have Chef doing some work today. He's gonna be the chip maker. Don't ever worry. We got the chips. They're gonna be the best chips ever. So it's gonna be a beautiful day today. All right, Luis. So to get started, man, let us know what to do. We're here to help you. You show us a little bit of something. So what are we starting off with today?
I'm gonna start off with cutting the lemons. You can help me with the mangoes, and you can help me with the chip maker.
Absolutely,
That's right,
absolutely,
shipmaker.
absolutely. So check it out. A lot of people, obviously there's different versions of ceviche. It looks like you're gonna cook your shrimp with the citrus of the lemon. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Nice.
Some people like to cook theirs first, add it after, but hey, we're gonna let you do your thing and.
Let's tell everybody though a little bit about yourself while we're cutting. How old are you?
I am 15 years old.
15. That's right. And you go to school right now?
Yes, sir.
What school you going to?
I'm going to South El Monte High School. It's a really new school. It's been in the area for like at least 60 years, probably 70.
That's right. I went to Almani High School, so you're going to South Almani
Yes,
High
sir.
School? And let me guess, you guys are the Eagles?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we're the Lions, but
Big
you know what?
competition.
All right.
I think what I want to know is what inspired you to make this dish? Is this something that you came up with on your own? This is something you grew up with? Was this something when you were a kid you used to eat it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, to start it off, one time my mom, we didn't have that much money, and she was like, you know what, let's make ceviche. And so we made it, and to be honest, now it's just my favorite food. And like if I need to like have anything like cold food or like anything like smooth, I always like tell her to go get ceviche. Like it's like the best to go spot.
Nice. Especially like on a hot day, right?
Yeah, like the summer, like a summer day.
I think you touched on something very important. You said, one day we didn't have money.
Yeah.
And that's not just, that's a lot of families that go through that. When you make the ceviche like this, does it take you back to that time where maybe you and your family were struggling a little bit or?
Yeah, but like I see it as a challenging spot and it inspires me a lot because I feel like okay, we made it out, but just remember that like you're always happy that that happened because God put you through through some challenges, and to be honest, that's how I see it as like a hard challenge that God put me out.
Yeah. And now you're just taking care of business, huh? And
Yes,
making
sir.
it happen?
Sir.
That's right.
Growing up in El Monte, do you ever get caught up in the street life with the gang violence and the homies?
Yeah, to be honest, I used to hang out with the wrong crowd.
Okay.
A crowd that made me do a lot of stuff. I don't really want to get into it, but like they just like every day I would be out of my house till like 11 of the night. I would get home, I would just eat and go to sleep. I wouldn't even sometimes say hi to my mom. I would just like go home and just go and not be there with them. I was getting bad grades at the time, and then she like found out by the school because they called her, and then after that she put me in this one program, Torch, and then in Torch they showed me how to cope like of with everything that I deal with, and after dealing with that I like now know that like what's right and what's wrong. And like to be honest, I always thought like cops were like, oh, like they're like bad guys, but in reality they're not. They're there for to help you. And then now I'm just like, all right.
And would you say so? Like I also grew up in the city of El Monte, and I think it was kind of like I don't know about you, Jay Z. Like in your area where you grew up, was it natural for society just to be like, oh, the cops are the bad people?
Oh,
Was that
absolutely.
like yeah? Because that's kind of how it
Absolutely,
was growing up in El
absolutely.
Monte.
But I'll tell you why. Because growing up, you kind of go through those bad experiences.
Uh huh.
With the police department. But I mean, at the same time, we were not out there doing the best things either.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So at the time, you feel like a victim. But
Like they're
now,
messing with
now
you.
looking back at it, I mean, in reality, it was kind of like a blessing, you know. And just listening to Luis and some of the stuff that he went through, I mean, it was kind of good that you did get put in those situations,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
Because sometimes it does take law enforcement to really differentiate whether it's right or wrong. You know, like us youngsters, we don't really think too much like, oh man, maybe this is the wrong thing to do. But guess what? There's a cop right around the corner to remind you, right? So the good thing about you, Luis, is that you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of our youngsters these days, they don't realize the mess up they're making or the where they're coming up short, right? And I find that pretty honorable, Luis, that you found, not only have you found your way to cope with, maybe coming up in a little bit of a hard situation or hard surroundings, but you're acting on it, and would you say cooking keeps you in the house and maybe keeps you from making bad choices? Like, is that do you find yourself kind of cooking when you have downtime?
Yeah, to be honest, like when I'm just like, even when I'm bored and I'm not hungry sometimes, I just cook and I just give it to my family and they eat it and they're like, damn, this is actually good.
Nice.
And I'm like, well, yeah, like I know how to cook. I just don't like make it a lot.
Yeah.
Cause as I'm a football player, so like sometimes I'm like a busy person. Meanwhile, I'm like sometimes I get home like around 7 in the afternoon
Uh-huh.
from football, and then I go home, eat, and then shower and go sleep.
Nice.
Right, right. Hey, Luis, you were talking earlier about, your mom when you grew up and how she used to make the ceviche for you and this and that. Could you tell us a little bit about your dad? Was your dad in your life? Was he part of you growing up?
To be honest, not really. He was like an alcoholic, and when I was like a newborn, I just like heard a lot of bad stories about him. Like he wasn't home. He used to take off for like a really like couple days, and then he wouldn't come back home. I was like, damn.
So do you think that affected you that you had to choose the streets?
Yeah, it did affect me a little bit, and then until my mom helped me realize that to let it go, like if he's not gonna be there, so like there's no point of you waiting for him to come back. And I realized it, and no, she was right.
Okay. Is your dad in your life now?
He's like here and there,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what? Regardless, I think the important part from listening to you and the calmness behind your voice, I think the important part, Chef Jay Z, is that my boy Luis, he's not waiting. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, like myself, I waited for my dad a lot of years, you know what I'm saying, while he was busted. And sometimes us waiting for something that's never gonna come can hold us back. You know what I'm saying? And I think I find that very, very, very strong of you to be able to, okay, my dad's not around, he's doing his thing, maybe he has some issues that he's dealing with, and at the same time you're going on with your life.
This kind of touched me a little bit because I grew up without a dad as well.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And my mom was a single parent, working double shifts just to make sure we had food on the table.
Yeah.
Make sure we had ceviche to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, if anybody's listening and anybody's going through that, how did you get by without having your dad there and having your mom as a single parent and for you to be where you're at now, you know, going to school and playing football, and if you could just let us know, how did you get through those tough times without having your dad there?
Well, without having my dad, um, to be honest, I thought the streets were like a good example to like get over it. But I went out, as I said, and to be honest, I found out that it wasn't. And so I was like, all right, I gotta change either one way or the other.
But did something happen to you that made you realize, oh, you know what, this is not it?
Yeah, I got what's called I stole money. And when I stole money, I got punished by like a lot of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this. Like I know I'm a good person, but stealing money I just like affected me a lot.
But you were still living in El Monte. You were
Yeah,
still
I was
living in the
still
neighborhood. You were
yeah.
still. Did you feel that peer pressure? Like you were trying to do good? Because I did. I was trying to do good. I would go to work and I would get through what I needed to get through my day. But then as soon as I got back to the neighborhood, it was like I felt like somebody was trying to push me in.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that?
Yeah, I did feel like that.
Okay.
And so
How did you overcome that?
well, how I overcome it was by moving out of the neighborhood. We moved, but we still stayed in El Monte.
Yeah.
We just
You
moved to
just
like
got
a
out of the part that was messing you up, kind
yeah.
of.
Yeah, but what happens sometimes too, Season, you know this, you move out of the neighborhood, but you still come back to it. You know, you still have to come back and see the homies, and you still have to come back. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to understand, and what I'm trying to see for people that are watching this podcast is like, okay, you know, yeah, we did move out of the neighborhood, but how did your mind really get out of that, you know, mentality of, you know what I mean? I'm here. There's nowhere I could go. You know, I love cooking at home. I love being with my family. But how could I get out of that state of mind, that environment?
My mom, all right, before that too, I was like a bit like I was bad. Like she helped me with
He said,
putting
"How was
me
bad?"
she put me into like therapy. And therapy, like at first I was like, I don't wanna talk to this person.
Yeah,
Like
because you feel like they don't understand, right?
yeah. And so I realized they showed me a video, like of someone like not understanding it and then the other person understanding it. I saw like certain details. I was like, those details do match me. And so I just said, you know what? Let's do it. I gave them like my opportunity and I just went through it.
You
And
went,
then
you went with the program.
yeah, I just went with the program and then that's it. And they got me good.
So you went through counseling and stuff, and you realized that helped you, right?
Yeah.
And so what is one of the tools that you shared with them that helps you cope? Like what's did you share with the, because I don't think a lot of counselors know about the tool of the culinary arts, right? Because I went through counseling too, and not one time did they say, you know what, if you're going through some hard times, jump in the
Jump in
kitchen
the
and make
kitchen.
something.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
might feel better.
Get your mind
Exactly.
away.
And you know what? Not only cooking, but staying busy.
Yeah.
I think that's where you're winning, is you're taking up your downtime and you're making it something constructive, like football, school, different programs, cooking. Like I think you have how do they say, you hit the head, you hit the pin on the head by saying you doing things extracurricular, right? To keep you out of that circle with them fools that are maybe, setting you up for failure, right? And I commend you again, and you don't understand how much it's an inspiration for me, and I'm sure for Chef Daisy too, to see the avenues that you're taking in order to get by in life and to advance in life. Because like we talked before, like it's easy to fall behind. It's easy to maybe join that crowd that's rooting for you to fail, because that's the easy part, right? And it's the hard part is programming positive and programming to get further in life, as a young man like yourself. Because like me and Jay-Z talk, there's nobody that got you like you got you, right? And it seems to me like you're in the driver's seat, and you know where to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a big thing. And I think just staying busy altogether will keep us, not only you, but I think keeping busy will keep us out of trouble and keep us on the right road. And good job for doing that, bro. It's alive. What's up, Luis? What do you think? Let us know. First and foremost, let us know what your get down. We following you.
present your dish.
This is ceviche. It looks really good right now. The shrimp did cook really well with the lemon, and the avocado hits it better.
Okay.
It looks delicious.
Thank you. You know, when we first started making the dish, it's kind of hard to imagine that it's gonna turn out like this, and that's the beauty of cooking. Like it starts off from nothing and it becomes something. What were the times you were going through when you created this for the first time? You know?
Yeah. Well, when I was creating this, I went through rough times. It was really hard until like now, into the future. Now I see it like as a source of energy. Because if I didn't go through those challenges, I wouldn't be here this day.
Sure, sure. And you're saying you wouldn't be here today.
What are some of those rough times?
Yeah, share with us
If
like
you don't mind, people watching us. I just met you today. What are some of those rough times?
One of the rough times was my depression. It was really big impact off me because I felt numb for like a really long time until like I just started realizing that I can't be numb for my whole life.
yeah.
And
But that's a big issue right now.
yeah,
Depression is it's a big issue
And
right
feeling
now.
numb.
Yeah.
I hear you say that. Feeling numb. Like that's
How did you get out of that? How did you overcome that, or are you still going through that at times?
I'm still going through it. Certain days I have my bad days, I have my good days.
sure.
And I just try to overcome it. And like some source that I like to use is listen to music, just vibe with the beats, or just like as my mom always told me, just cook whatever you want.
Yeah.
And as today, that's why I made ceviche.
So let me ask you this because I myself have dealt with a lot of mental illness, a lot of depression, a lot of suicidal thoughts, and just so that you're aware, like it's not only you, okay? Like between us three right here, I'm sure Chef JZ has his good times and his bad times, and I've had my good times and my bad times. The only problem is sometimes those bad times could be a little bit too much to handle, right?
Yeah.
And those are the important times when we got to find that tool. We got to bring that tool out of our toolbox and cook something to get us away from that moment, right?
Or even I don't mean to cut you off, but even if it's not cooking,
Sure.
let's say you're going through it, you're at school, whatever. How do you get through it?
I just asked my teachers to please be like if I could be excused from class, and I just like sometimes just go on the hallways and start walking, because certain times I just like finish my work and I got like the whole rest of the period for free, and I'm just like right there like just sitting on my phone,
Thinking.
always like thinking and bored, and
I like to say sometimes downtime is bad time, you know, and you being a young man and maybe not finding that that spark yet, you got to be very careful because sometimes and I'm speaking as myself as well, not just when I was young, but even today, like you have to be careful, especially because you have so many things going on in your mind, and you have, sometimes those thoughts can be a little bit negative, and at the end of the day, let's just keep it real. Like sometimes they could be suicidal thoughts. You know what I mean? I've had suicidal thoughts. We spoke earlier, and you shared about, sometimes those thoughts can be a little bit too much, and that's thinking about maybe just ending it all.
Did you feel like that, Luis?
I did feel like that. And I was like, I always reflect myself as sometimes as a flower, because flowers, they have like a lot of leaves in them, and like certain things like they end up dying throughout their time. But the thing that I know about them, they have like little leaves fall down every time when they're like down. And like one time I actually saw like a leaf die in front of me. I was like, oh. Like I realized that like they have so much little leaves until when time's up for them, they just like they die.
The shed, they expire.
Yeah.
But you know what the thing is about that is that they die when they're supposed to die. You know what I mean? And sometimes in mental illness and in suicide, sometimes we cut ourselves short because we can't deal with it and because we don't have the strength to go forward, right?
Yeah.
So that's what this show is about, is to show an avenue to kind of swerve them thoughts. You know what I mean? Because sometimes those thoughts can be so loud in our mind that we just give up. And me myself, I want to bring it to the people's attention that there's tools out there to help from really going that route. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been dealing with suicidal thoughts since I was 10 years old. You know, and thankfully growing up, I found the avenues to go, like cooking and listening to music. And at the end of the day, which I was going to tell you a little while ago, is time. If you have downtime, that can be very detrimental to us because downtime is not good, you know? So it's important to stay busy. I heard you talk about you play football.
Yeah.
Does football and sports help you get through those tough times, tough thoughts?
Sometimes when I'm just like, I don't know, like certain days I just have anger in me.
Okay.
And in those days, I just take it out in football. Like, I just like,
You let your
I let it go. Whenever I'm there, I let it go.
What inspires you? What, you know, to keep going?
Yep.
What inspires me is my family. I have a little bit of family, but that family has always been there through the ups and downs. And that's what I'm pushing for right now. I'm just like pushing for my family.
That's right.
I'm just like keep my head straight and just like go for my family. And if anything comes up, I just like sometimes make like a little swerve, but I always try to keep it straight.
That's right, Luis. I commend you, man, because that's all we got is family, no matter if it's small or not.
Yeah.
I have a small family myself. I know Chef JZ got a family himself,
Yes,
and
sir, yes.
at the end of the day, that's who we're fighting for.
Yeah.
You know, because there's people that love us, and we gotta love them back and do the best we can. All right, and now for the best part.
All right.
This is the time.
So what do you
where-
call? What do you call it? What do you call it? What do you call it? Do you have a special name for it? I know it's a mango ceviche, but is there
I
something
call
that you
it-
call it, like your parents know or your mom? Hey, oh, he's gonna make that dish.
I just keep it simple. Mango ceviche.
Mango ceviche. Well,
right.
it is.
Sometimes less.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah, sometimes
That's
less
what
is
it
more.
is.
I'm gonna see what I'm gonna call it right now. Now there's a difference. It could be bomb mango ceviche,
Oh no.
or it could be it's alright.
No. Try it.
Nah, really? I see it already. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
I'm
right.
getting the
You're getting the full.
the citrus. I'm getting the sweetness of the mango, right?
Yep.
All right.
They're all coming together.
All right. Man, these chips are just amazing.
Oh, wow, this
God,
the
who
difference,
made 'em?
man. I'm the chip maker. So, I mean, obviously an awesome dish, right?
So good.
We're gonna end it up. I mean, we're breaking bread right now. We're gonna end it with you, Luis, talking about
Wow.
just why again you created this dish and what does it mean to you? What does it inspire you? What does it make you think of? It's your show.
This dish inspires me to overcome hard times and to proceed what I need to proceed. Because perhaps if you're a youngster, just doing bad, don't know a right path, try cooking.
That's
And if you try cooking, you're gonna be like, all right, I may try this and that. You try it, first time it's not gonna come out right. For my first time, it didn't come out right. Second time, you get the little hand of it. Third time, you probably already got it perfect. And just come on,
You
continue it.
you could kind of go with those same rules in life,
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
you know.
That's what I was
Because-
talking about.
You know, sometimes you as a young man, you think, okay, I'm doing good. I already did it, you know. But we still, all of us, you know, we still have things that happened in the past or that are happening in our lives. But you know, you lived with your mom. You know, you mentioned your dad wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know, how did that affect you? My
If
dad wasn't there when I was growing up. How did that affect you? It's a
it
whole different
Dude,
generation.
my dad wasn't there either.
How, you
Let
know?
him know. Let
if
him know,
it
Luis.
affected me a lot because I also played basketball when I was a little youngster, and so to be honest, I met my stepdad, and my mom she met him, and he started like showing me a bit more stuff.
How old were you when you met your
I
stepdad?
met him like 13, no, 12 years old. I
You were
met him
12.
12.
Okay. So you got a couple years with homie?
Yeah.
That's right.
And then I see him like more as his dad because I just like, I'm already used to him.
Do you still talk to your dad?
Yeah, I still
Your
talk
real
to him.
dad?
Yeah.
What does he tell you? Does he give you advice?
He does, but in that advice, he just like, he gives me simple advice. I'm like, I want more. But like, he just gives me simple
Do you
advice.
feel that you're getting more advice from your stepdad
Oh,
now?
yeah, a lot. Even when we go work, he gives me advice like, all right, this is not how you do it. Because one time I was doing something bad, and he didn't get mad at me. My dad would have gotten mad, but my stepdad he showed me the correct way to use the materials and to finish the job correctly.
That's right.
Good, man. That's good. You know what?
Shout out to stepdad
Yeah,
because
you know, it's been awesome to meet you today. I just want to say you created an amazing dish. Keep going with, you know, all your inspirations, what you want to do in life. And I wish you the best, man.
Yes, sir.
and I want to say that shout out to your dad, shout out to your mom, shout out to your stepdad. And at the end of the day, they're doing a great job with what we got in front of us. And I'm proud of you. And I just want to wish you the best as well. And I want to just wish you all the success in life, bro. And if you ever need anything regarding cooking or in life or whatever,
Let us know.
you got friends for life right
We
here.
got you.
All right?
Yes, sir.
That's
Thank
your
you.
back, man.
Appreciate you. Breaking Bread, the podcast, Ceviche. Stay tuned for the next one.
See you.